Alright, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of the Return to the SWF. Without further ado, let's get into the news report. There's a lot of news that happened this week. The first thing is that Spencer Spade he bruised his pec on a house show, and he's injured. He can work through it. Thank fucking God he can work through it, because he's booked for a tag title match tonight. However, He will be perfectly fine for the pay-per-view. It was a 15-day injury that he's working through, and Times of Trouble is exactly 16 days away, which is, thank God. Unfortunately, that does mean that the tag title match is going to be significantly worse due to his injury, but, you know, I'd rather have him be ready for the pay-per-view than this title match tonight. So next up is you know how we released American Machine, you know how he let his contract expire in the last episode or two? I can't remember if it was the last one or the one before that. Yeah, TCW already hired him. 43 years old, not that over, not that good. TCW will take you. Like, dude, you want to talk about AEW being a second-rate promotion? If you're one of those people that are like, oh, AEW's second-rate to WWE, dog, TCW's third-rate to SWF, man. Bro, this is embarrassing. I mean, genuinely, EILL are they're less pathetic than you are right now, TCW. Get the hell out of here. Gorgon and Candy Floss are both retiring. Sad. This is in the order that the news came in. So all that happened, and then Kurt Laramie also got injured on a house show. And I'm like, what the fuck? So Kurt Laramie broke his toe working through it, and only 5-day injury when it happened, so he'll be perfectly fine for the next episode. It was just like, what the fuck? The Schemers won the Maw Tag Team titles. One of my favorite workers in the entire Cornellverse, the Architect, is now Tag Team Champion in Maw with his partner, Jonah Pilgrim. They beat DeMarcus and Gray. Fuck them, they're not the Architect. Hell yeah. Messy Marv Ernest has been appointed the NYCW head booker. Steve Flash can go fuck himself, I guess. Total Mayhem happened. Credit where credit is due. All the jokes aside, all the American Machine signings aside, Total Mayhem got a 91, and it actually looks like a good card. Wolf and Andrews finally had a good match. I think they got like a 94, 95. They finally didn't like shit the bed, because I've noticed that on Total Cringe Wrestling pay-per-views, they've just been not doing well in the main event. But they finally had a good match. It was a good card except for JT versus Tana. I think JT won, so at least the right person won. So, yeah. So Total Mayhem happened. And for those of you that know, TCW pay-per-views are on the very last day of the month. So that means that we're only about halfway through this news week. It doesn't pick up that much. Actually, this is the last day where I had any news. So, but the Behemoth's tag reign of terror did end on Total Mayhem when Benny and DeFox beat them for the second time. I think they've traded these tag titles 3 times now, because in canon the Behemoths had them and lost them to Benny and the Fox, and then they won them back, and that's when the database starts. So this is the 3rd time that they've traded I guess if you count trading back and forth, this is the 2nd time. So whatever, well, but TCW, you can't win them all. You can't win much actually with TCW. So yeah, like I was saying before I so rudely interrupted myself, TCW pay-per-views are on the last day of the month, which means the area battles are in, and guys, we won again. It's actually, like, embarrassing how far behind USPW are on these area battles. I think we score, like, an 89 per month, and they score, like, an 83, so this is depressing. And the last bit of news that I have is I've done the math. We made a profit of, like, $4.6 million last month, so I think we're at $46 million right now. And the Supreme Network, the SWF Network, is going to cost somewhere in the ballpark of like $34-35 million. So I have decided, I've put it in stone, we will launch the SWF Networks once we have $50 million after tax. So once we start a month with $50 million, because it gets deceptive. Technically, I had $50 million last month, but you get taxed out the ass if you don't know, if you don't play TEW that much. every month you get heavy taxed, and a good chunk of your profits go in that when the months change, a good bit of your profits go. Like before the month ended, we had like $10 million profit, and then we ended with $4 million. So we will launch the SWF network once we have 50 million come a new month. So if we continue to grow, like our profits have steadily been growing, like we started the save getting about 2 million, then 2.5, then 3, and now we're at 4.5. So if we continue to grow, then we should launch the SWF networks next month and have it ready for the Supreme Challenge. If not, we will launch it in August. So it's really close to happening. That's all I wanted to say. Once we have 50 million, solidly 50 million, we will launch the SWF network. And not time to get into the show. It's been 7 minutes of only news, and now it's actually time to run down the card. So we're opening the show with, I'm on the wrong date on my spreadsheet. Whoopsie daisy. So we're going to open the show with the tag team partners, former tag team partners, former friends, or so we thought, until Ranger was like, fuck you, I'm Chuck McGill, I don't care about you. And the Dallas Cowboys will face off here tonight. Marshall Dillon vs. Ranger will be opening the show. Then we will have another Lenny Brown North American Title Open Challenge. Lenny Brown has been running high on adrenaline ever since beating Adam Smasher. He must have, got a good whiff of something up his nose during that match. And he's holding another open challenge after a Texas Tornado match. Following that, we have the Steve Frehley Bear Bekowski match, where the Crippler has worked alongside Team Sexy for at least a week to ensure that Steve Frehley will not go to Times of Trouble and challenge the Crippler for the World Heavyweight Championship, because the only way Steve Frehley can get his one-on-one match, can finally get his one-on-one match, is if he beats Bear Bekowski here tonight, and they jumped him last week, so he's not going to be 100%. Then the SWF World Tag Team Championships, big money makers, challenge Hawaiian Crush. After Hawaiian Crush are like, hey, if you can beat a team without managerial interference, we'll give you tag title shots. And then they cheated, they low blowed, and they're like, fuck. I mean, I guess that's fair. And then in our main event, giving them a chance. I'm giving them a chance. This is kind of a risk, but I really think there's a good chance they can pull it off. Randy Unleashed versus Mikey Lau in our main event. Just kind of a test match for Mikey Lau. See if he's ready for the big times. I really hope he is. It's time to get into the show. I have a couple of pre-show matches. I'm testing the team of Frin Bruiser and Frosure. I don't know. I think I've had them team up before, but in case I haven't, I'm running storylines with them. I wanted to make sure they're good to go, and they do not have bad chemistry, and they're fucking over. Oh my god. They are fucking great. Holy shit. Who would have guessed? Me. That's why I signed them. Although they did lose to Domination on the pre-show. And our other pre-show match, 75. Oh my god, Jefferson's the fucking pre-show. Relax. I wanted to give James Diaz some more work, as he's not quite on the level of Logan Wolfsbane, but he really can be, and I see the Heritage as a tag team for my future. So having them go up against the Awesomeness, James could probably learn a good thing or two, and a good thing or 15. Fucking hell, is 79 on the pre-show. So that wraps up the pre-show, and we open the main show with a 100 rated promo by Rocky Golden, and essentially Rocky holds the show hostage. He said he's fuming. He storms to the ring, and he's like, Scythe, for whatever reason, you're dodging me. You got your win in the tag match. You won't shut up about being able to stop me, yet you won't go and do and finish the job. You won't fight me like a man. You won't finish the job. You ignore me. You cut off the power to the building. I don't know how you got in bed with the production associates and got my mic cut off, or every mic in the arena cut off last week, but you did, and you're trying to dodge me for some reason. Scythe, face me at times of trouble, and if you try to ignore me or don't respond, I'm not leaving this ring. I'm holding the show hostage. I'm gonna make Eric find you and find you anywhere, wherever the fuck you are. I'm not leaving until you answer me. And then Rocky waits. And he waits for a while, he waits a good few minutes, calling out Scythe, messing about with the fans. He does not leave this ring. He is not letting Supreme TV start. And eventually, John Greed comes running out, and he tries to lay him out. Rocky makes quick work of John Greed, or not quick work. It's a pretty decent brawl, actually, now that I think about it. It's a pretty decent exchange that Rocky and John Greed have, but in the end, Rocky does prevail, and he's like, Scythe, you can send your goons all you want. I'm not leaving without you. And then eventually Scythe does. He appears on the Titantron, and he says, fine, Rocky, I'll give you your match at Supreme Challenge if you can beat John Greed at Times of Trouble. And I know it looks like you just made quick work of John Greed, but I just sent John Greed out on a whim. John Greed's been training in the dungeons with me. If you really think that with proper time to prepare, John Greed's going to be a pushover, you're sorely mistaken, Rocky. As come Times of Trouble, you will be embarrassed by my henchmen, and then you will be embarrassed by me, and you will be no more. You won't even make it to the Supreme Challenge if I have anything to say about it. And so, boom, we have another Times of Trouble match pre-booked. I think I already did it. Yeah, I already did it. I got ahead of myself while booking the actual show. So, yeah. Oh, in a cage, by the way. Scythe says, if he's very cocky about it. He's like, if you can beat John Greed, not only can you fight me, you can fight me in a cage, so you can be assured there's no interference. So we might see a cage match at the Supreme Challenge if Rocky Golden can put away John Greed. And now it's time for our opening match. Ranger and Marshall Dillon get an 80, and they have great chemistry. Good partners, better enemies. Good shit from you two. Getting an 80, and in the end, it's a storytelling match. Ranger gets the victory with the Global Meltdown, but of course, throughout the entire match, wrong button. No, that is the right button. There it is. So yeah, Maddie Faith has been interfering this whole time. Squeaky McLean interfered. It was just a not even match, and Ranger's able to pick up the victory. But that's not it. Team Sexy's not done. They continue to beat down Marshall Dillon until Team Sexy's current rivals, ZWB and Oliver Cobb, run out. They come and they make the save, cleaning out Squeaky McLean. Did I say Team Sexy? I did not mean to say Team Sexy. Team Squeaky isn't a thing. Whatever. Squeaky's clients, the enemies of Squeaky's clients, ZWB and Oliver Cobb, come out. They're taking out Ranger. They're taking out Maddie Faith. They're saving Marshall Dillon until Des Davids runs out with a chair, cracks him across the back, and lays out ZWB and Oliver Cobb. And once again, Squeaky McLean using the numbers game to his advantage. Squeaky and Des stand tall as they help up Ranger and Maddie Faith. That does it for this angle. We then clear out the ring, and when we come back, Lenny Brown and Rogue are in the ring waiting for their tag team challenge, and Lenny says anybody that wants some can come get some, and Big Smack Scott comes out, and Lenny's like, yep, you know what, I took out your partner fairly easily, I'm going to take out you, and Big Smack Scott, he's on the entrance ramp still, he's like, you injured my partner, he broke his toe, totally not at a house show, you did it to him last week in the Texas Tornado match, you are done for. And then in the middle of his sentence, Primus Allen music hits, and like a train derailed off the tracks, he goes running and knocks out Big Smack Scott. And in a huge surprise, Big Smack Scott is not the one that answers the open challenge. It is Primus Allen, and the two men go 10 minutes, both with good performances. 83 rated match. Lenny Brown and Primus Allen. Lenny Brown manages to squeak away with the victory after a quick roll-up. Primus Allen actually looks like he has the match in the bag. Lenny Brown still hurting from the Texas Tornado match. He's not 100% clearly. The adrenaline was getting to him. He was not thinking before. Him and Rogue were not thinking before. They were talking shit after that Texas Tornado match because they were probably under the assumption that Big Smack Scott, or someone of his caliber, no diss to Big Smack Scott, would answer the open challenge, not the behemoth Primus Allen. So it took a roll-up by Lenny Brown to pick up the victory here tonight. In following the match, Primus Allen is clearly not happy. Not a happy camper. Clearly mad that Lenny Brown won via a roll-up, as he spends the next 3 minutes beating the ever-living shit out of Lenny Brown and Rogue. And he not only is he able to take them both on because he's a behemoth of a man, but also because they're both still hurting from the aforementioned million times Texas Tornado match. And Primus Allen lays waste to both men before holding the belt up and yelling right at Lenny Brown on the ground, I'll get this eventually. Just you wait. I will get this eventually. And he throws the belt on the ground and he walks backstage. 79 rated match. And And up next, we have another open challenge, ladies and gentlemen, as Greg Gage comes to the ring, and he says, now I've heard a lot on social media that I'm disgracing my family's legacy, like I give a shit. Unfortunately, I do not, and I'm here to start a new legacy. I'm here to start the Gage legacy, and I'm going to hold an open challenge to anybody in the back that thinks they can take on Gregory Gage. And I'm going to beat the top guys that SWF has to offer, and I'm going to make a star out of the new family name, Gage. So anyone that wants some, come on out. And Leon de Oro comes out, and he says, yeah, I could take you pretty easily. And Greg's like, no, you're not worthy. I wanted someone with talent. You've been here for like 3 weeks, and you've won one match, I think. I don't know. Yeah, no, you're not worthy. Yeah, I hate to do this, but if this is the kind of competition I'm going to be getting, then we are not doing an open challenge. It was not great seeing you all in the crowd. I hope you have a horrible night, and I'm out. And he leaves. He fucking leaves. No open challenge. Leon de Oro was just left there like, what the fuck? And, yeah, segment gets a 69. Up next is the Steve Frehley Bear Bekowski match, an 83, dude. All the fucking matches are hitting tonight. Fuck yeah. I mean, Steve Frehley I knew was going to get a good match, but again, it's just, you love to be supreme. As I'm sure you all saw this coming, but Bear Bekowski, unfortunately, did not beat Steve Frehley, despite the fact that Sammy Smoke ran in, Joe Sexy distracted him, Steve Frehley overcame all odds against him, and picks up the victory here tonight against Bear Bekowski, and this is the pre-booking I thought I needed to do. And yeah, so we will have Steven Freeler and the Cripples in a World Heavyweight title match. So yeah, that match is pre-booked now. World Championship match, it's official. Steve Frehley won his match, and Crippler now will have to hold up his end of the bargain and defend his World Heavyweight title against Steve Frehley at Times of Trouble. And Crippler brought him a nice congratulatory present, a post-match congratulations in the form of him trying to beat the shit out of him with a lead pipe, and Steve Frehley's able to disarm the Crippler, and there's a huge fucking brawl that requires Runaway Train, Black Hat Bailey, and a couple of guys from RIPW that I like, that I want to get just a sliver of pop to, and yeah, it's a pull-apart brawl. So I mean, if it was my birthday, this is not what I'd ask for, but beggars can't be choosers. Steve got a present at least. I don't get anything. Up next, we cut backstage, and Eric Eisen has called Greg Gage into his office, and Eric is like, I know you don't think he's worthy, but like, I'm pretty interested to see a match between you and Leon de Oro. And Greg's like, oh, Eric, don't waste my time. Leon? I mean, like, come on, he's pathetic. Leon's pathetic, and Eric's like, no, I think you're just scared. Whereas I'm not fucking scared. Eric's like, no. When I wrestled, I was just as much of a weasel as you. I know when someone's scared. So now I'm really interested to see that match. So I'm going to put it on pay-per-view. Greg, congratulations for pulling that stunt. You are now no longer eligible for the Supreme Rumble, as you have a match now. So you and Leon, I can't wait to see what you guys produce. And get the hell out of my office before you try and fight me. And Greg's like, Eric's like, I will call security. And security just happened to be Runaway Train, as you saw. He punched one of my dev guys in the face for trying to get over. He will mop the floor with you. And Greg's like, fuck. Another match. All of our Times of Trouble matches are going to be pre-booked here tonight. Leon de Oro, Greg Gage, set for the pay-per-view. Boom, 75 for that segment. And then we get an update. Actually, not an update. Well, yeah, it's an update, but we don't know that yet. So Anna Garcia is with Angry Gilmore, and Anna's like, Gilmore, you requested this time to talk to the SWF audience. You've been off TV for a few weeks. What is on your mind? And Gilmore says, thank you for mentioning that, as that's why I wanted to talk right now. That 6-way Gold Rush, I went way too hard, and I tried to get my rematch against the Crippler, and in doing so, I suffered a decent hamstring injury that's taken me off of TV for the past couple weeks. And I just want to let you all know that's where I've been. I've missed you guys. I know you've missed me because everybody loves Angry Gilmore. It feels good to be Supreme. And I will be back next week, hopefully in a match. I don't know what Eric has in the cards for me, but I really do hope. Bam! And then Hollywood Brett Starr comes in out of nowhere, just fucking elbows him across the face. Just like, I'm not fucking done with you, old man, as he's stomping on him. Hollywood Brett Starr, I believe, is still 0-2 against Angry Gilmore. And Hollywood Brett Starr is not the type of guy to, take losses with grace. You know? Hollywood Brett Starr, not gonna lie, not the sportsmanship kind of guy. And he is beating Angry Gilmore for beating him. Following that is our tag team title match, and in about 86, oh my god, Spencer Spade fucking injured, crippled. Spencer Spade in a wheelchair wrestles better than fucking the entire TCW roster on a weekly basis. Damn, it feels good to be Supreme. But unfortunately, unfortunately for, fucking hurt, Spencer Spade, the big money makers looked to win. You know, they were doing their typical, you know, one of us distracts the ref, the other does an eye poke, or one of us distracts the ref and the other one rips on the hair or bites the head. They're doing their cheesy underhanded tactics, and it's giving them a pretty decent advantage until Brandon James is in the ring against High Flying Hawaiian, and in the ring, the ref gets knocked down just for a quick moment. He's not, like, taken out, but it's like his leg gets hurt, so he's fucking holding his leg. And then we see Jefferson Stardust bolt from the back and rip Spencer Spade right off the apron, lay him out. And Jefferson rolls under the ring so the ref can't see him, and the ref goes and notices Spencer's going. He's like, what the fuck just happened? And while he's turned, Huey Cannonball comes running in from the crowd, runs in, lays out Brandon James. And then he escapes. And High Flying Hawaiian takes advantage of this, hits a Pacific Crush, and gets the pinfall victory. Hawaiian Crush have retained the tag team titles thanks to the awesomeness. And we're not sure if the Hawaiian Crush... fucking 99. We're not sure if Hawaiian Crush understand what just happened, but they do a few minutes after the bell rings, as both the awesomeness once again rush into the ring and fucking lay out Hawaiian Crush. Huey's beating on Akuma, Jefferson's beating on High Flying, they switch, now Jefferson's on Hawaiian, Huey's on Akuma, and they lay him out. And once they are properly beaten up, the awesomeness hold the tag team titles over their shoulder, and they say, you know, Huey says, you know, Jefferson, I think they owe us a thank you. Jefferson says, I agree. I feel like a proper thank you would be a tag team title match. He was like, I can't agree more. That's why during your guys' match, me and Jefferson were talking to Eric Eisen. He agrees. We've been putting in the work on the pre-shows, on the main shows. Even with a loss to Rocky Golden and Valiant, we still impressed everyone last week. And Eric has granted us a tag team title match for Times of Trouble. No matter who wins. And we just felt it'd be a little bit more fun to retake the titles back from you two who beat us not that long ago. I hope you both are still trigger happy to send off the next match, because at Times of Trouble, it will be the last time you make the challenges as the tag team champions, and the awesomeness drop the titles, and they exit the ring, dropping a bombshell announcement that the awesomeness will get a rematch for the SWF World Tag Team titles at Times of Trouble. Boom. I think that's the full card, because the Supreme Rumble is going to take 61 fucking minutes, so we only have a 6-match card this month. I know I usually do 7, but the Supreme Rumble is going to be fucking worth the missing match. 99 rated fucking Atom Smasher-esque promo. Holy shit. Damn, it feels good to be Supreme. Oh my god. 99. Next segment. And we get a match announcement. Next week, Des Davids will be taking on ZWB. He laid him out earlier in the show. Now ZWB will have a chance to get his revenge. And in our main event for next week, a star-studded match, as Rocky Golden will take on his opponent at Times of Trouble in a tag team match, and Rocky's partner is none other than Steve Frehley. John Green gets the Crippler. Star-studded duo. The first time ever we'll see Rocky Golden and Steve Frehley team up, only on Can next week, Supreme TV. Let's fucking get it. And in our main event, Randy Unleashed takes on Mikey Lau, and Randy has Primus at his ringside, keeping him at the advantage this entire time. However, there are two men completely fueled with adrenaline and anger and hate from earlier in the night that happened to take out Primus Allen during this main event match. That's right, guys. That's right. Lenny Brown and Rogue come and get their revenge. 90-rated fucking match. Yes! Sorry, I have a lot of energy, and the show is fucking fire right now. Lenny Brown and Rogue, who were laid out by Primus Allen earlier in the match, run out, take him out. They don't interfere with the match. They just make sure Primus Allen can't. The match goes for another 8 or so minutes, and Lenny Brown is able... What? No. Mikey Lau is able to come out on top, defeating Randy Unleashed in 20 minutes and 2 seconds. He gets a fucking 94. Define lack of psychology. You can take your psychology and shove it up your ass. I'll super kick it in you, Young Buck style. Fuck psychology. 90 rated match. Mikey Lau fucking don't need psychology. And we end the show. I almost double clicked there. That was really close. Holy shit. I almost double-clicked there. We end the show with a big fucking brawl that eventually the babyfaces win as they're outnumbering the heels. I mean, it's even. I mean, Primus Allen's basically 2 guys, but it's technically outnumbered. And Randy and Primus are forced to retreat, and then Rogue grabs a microphone and he's like, Randy, if you want to kick our ass, don't do it right now. Do it when we're both 100% ready to fight. Next week, me versus you. And he drops the mic, and that's another match set up for next week. 84. We do have a post-show match. I called up all those guys from RIPW, so I thought I might as well put them in a match against a couple of my favorite lower card guys. Match gets a 40. Just a nice post-show match for the crowd. And 93. Dude, it's embarrassing that our weekly shows are just better than TCW's biggest show of the year. I feel like I'm punching down. Brutus understands. Brutus understands. Let's see. Yeah, vast majority of the show. I'm sorry, I got fantastic reviews. Fuck you. TCW, get that shit out of here. Like, oh, God. Oh, my God. Dude, what is it with Sammy Bach versus a member of the Behemoths in a fucking gimmick match? Why do we do this? 3 million viewers? Bet Supreme TV beat that. Oh, shit, I don't think we did. Oh, my God, by 100,000. Fuck. Emma Chase has won her, 12th award in the year so far. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of the Return to the SWF. I hope to see you all for our Times of Trouble Go Home show in episode number 27.